Uh, my name is Edgar Wafula. I describe myself as a valiant, fearless, visionary young man and a dynamic duo with lots of love for humanity and passion for transforming lives. I know there exist so many challenges in my job, but I'll still keep doing it. I'm a strong, determined young man who pursues my goals relentlessly and who aims at improving my skills to enable our institution realize its vision. Additionally, I am a great team player and also a team leader who always delivers on my duties. Well, I was appointed by the government of Kenya through the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection during the reign of the Cabinet Secretary for Labour and Social Protection, Honorable Simon Chelugoi. Having gone through the Starehe Boys Center and School, I embarked on a journey that has seen me forge a career in social service that has remained an inspiration for current generations. Previously, I served at Accounts Department in KICC, then the Table Office Department of National Assembly in Kenya, concurrently with the Directorate of Legislative Services in the Senate of Kenya on a voluntary basis. I also worked at AR Insurance Company Limited at Ngong Road branch. I have volunteered in many schools and hospitals, including the Kenyatta National Hospital and Pumwani Maternity Hospital, and schools such as Medina Integrated School and St. Stephen Preparatory School in Wanye Road. Ideally, I had accumulated skills from high school, the Starehe Boys Center, where I attended my secondary education. At Starehe Boys, there is a program known as the Voluntary Service Scheme, commonly referred to as the whole day job. That's where I began my journey. Well, the Starehe Voluntary Service Scheme is an initiative of boys of Starehe to work in any government enterprise or hospital for a certain number of days, mostly 3 weeks during the school holidays. Surprisingly, the suggestion for voluntary service was put forward by one of the boys during Senior Baraza. Baraza is usually called the school parliament where students address their needs and problems. There are two categories of barazas at Starehe Boys, that is the junior and senior baraza. Junior baraza consists of Form 1s and Form 2s, while senior baraza consists of Form 3s and Form 4s. It was in line with the idea that to whom much has been given, much will be required, that the voluntary scheme was established. Under this particular scheme, students from either Form 2, Form 3, or in the Technical Training Institute sacrifice their holidays to undertake a 3 or 4 weeks service free of charge in any government enterprise or hospital. The Starehe Training Technical Institute consists of Form 5 and Form 6 of students who finished Form 4 at Starehe and got a good grade, which later they enroll in Form 5 to pursue CASNEB exams, computer studies, and accountants. During the voluntary service scheme, students at Starehe can do virtually any kind of work, ranging from cleaning, wheeling patients in hospitals, filing documents in offices, entering data in computer systems, and so on. The department where the student was working writes a report on the student's activities over the period and makes necessary recommendations. The report is then posted to the school for filing purposes. The voluntary service scheme was started in the year 1966. It actually came into being through a suggestion by a boy in Baraza, the school parliament. It is a way of paying back to the community what many Starehe boys, commonly referred to as Starehians, have so richly enjoyed. Well, it sounds funny. Well, we charge 66,000 for vulnerable but able-bodied members, while we also charge 211,900 from those people coming in, well-off families. All payments are made in form of a bank guarantee. Oh my, our bankers are Kenya Commercial Bank Limited. Our bank account name is Bidvest Dream PLG. Yeah. Bidvest. Describing Bidvest. Uh, well, being my dream, yes. Having read The Siddhartha by Max Amman in 1927 edition, my people, he describes, people as, having every day striving to achieve high ideals, and everywhere, everybody's full of heroism. I have always emphasized to empower members of our society to not only resolve their self, to restore their self-confidence and self-respect that's so often injured in their earlier and progressive misfortunes, but also to provide them sound enough to serve them well in today's competitive socio-economic world. Though the road to the success has not always been smooth, I have remained a testimony to the vision and the commitment of the institution with the idea of transforming lives through social protection. My role, yes, I am the current Group Chief Executive Officer at Bidvest Group, uh, having been appointed on 25th March 2022 through the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection confirmation. In the Board of Directors Resolution number 10 of 2021, after official approval and confirmation from the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, which is our parent ministry. The government of Kenya, led by the former President, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, organized the government's Ministry of East Africa Community Labour and Social Protection to the Ministry of East Africa Community and Assaults, and that of Labour and Social Protection in line with the Constitution of Kenya. The order contained portfolio responsibilities and changes made in the structure of our government, which superseded Executive Order number 2 of 2013. My role is to enforce the institution's objectives of providing social and community development and the entire social protection. As the CEO of Bidvest and chairman of the Donor Advised Fund, I help to carry the torch for the vision and mission of the institution while setting and implementing the strategy to achieve it. As a seasoned social volunteer and operator with a passion and background in building new products for social impact, I am focused on how Bidvest can leverage new innovative technologies and the power of generosity to change the world. By virtue of holding the position of Chief Executive Officer at Bidvest, of course I am the highest ranking executive in the institution. My responsibilities, including making major corporate decisions, managing the overall operations and resources of the institution. Well, this job has so many risks. Handling people from all walks of life is not a joke, especially hungry Kenyans. You can encounter disappointed youth undergoing the unemployment crisis we all see today, who may even slap you due to hunger. It is like, upsetting a beehive while fixing a transformer leading to, stinks. So for the preparation purposes and for the sake of hunger objection handling, I can assist them, the hungry youths get food whenever I issue them some coins or notes to buy themselves food. Yeah, everything, everywhere there are challenges. You can't avoid challenges. Every job has its own challenges, and you must be able to accept and adjust for you to succeed. That is how we do it in life. You can't just walk up and find everything that is waiting for you that has been ready-made. No. Describing Bidvest, the founders of Bidvest set out not merely to provide, the appropriate social protection to the clients in need, but also to restore in them the self-confidence and self-respect so often injured by the early and progressive misfortunes, and finally to provide them sound enough, to serve them well in today's competitive socio-economic world. They argue the result will be a peaceful society, a one free of exploitation, hunger, and distress, in which all will live according to their means and reap according to their abilities. How we are organized? Well, at the top of its organizational structure is the board of directors. The day-to-day work of the institution is overseen by its 14 members of the secretariat. The chief executive officer is the head of the institution's board and also chair of the board of directors. Our finances, well, the Bidvest resources mainly come from the money that clients pay as their skills development fee when they join the institution. Each client of the institution is assigned a reference number based on his or her financial sustainability, e.g., vulnerable but able-bodied or financially self-sufficient. The institution, since it is a social assistance, one can then support the client when faced into socio-economic difficulty. That is exactly what our institution structure is best. Yeah. So I don't know any question. Yeah, that is basically the description of Bidvest, how we maneuver around, how we work here and there, and challenges are so many. You can't avoid them. You can't. You must strive. You must work hard. You must deliver unto your promises for you to have the trust, for you to earn the loyalty. Yes. So Bidvest is just Bidvest like that, and you can't hide from the reality. Yeah. Describing Bidvest according to my own words. Well, Bidvest to me, in accordance to in line with our strategic plan of 2018 to 2023, which is coming to an end. Bidvest was established as a world-class and full-fledged mutual and social assistance institution, proudly founded on the pillars of generosity, sacrifice, altruism, and community service. Approved under the Social Protection Act by the laws of Kenya, incorporating Center for Skills Development and a grassroots community initiative known as the Tulimshane Mashinani Foundation. The Social Protection Act, the laws of Kenya, asserts the right for every Kenyan to social security and binds the states and every other state organ in Article 43.3 to provide appropriate social security to persons unable to support themselves and their dependents. This implies the social protection in totality, the social assistance and health insurance. The institution was established on November 2018, where the idea spawned from operating the investment group. When it became apparent that most youths had skills, idea, and talent but lacked the structure, feedback, and the funding to operate, the institution is based on the Universal Declarations of Human Rights in 1948, which identifies social protection as a fundamental human right for all citizens in the world, and the additional protocols to which Kenya is a party. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948 is a key milestone document in the history of human rights, drafted by different representatives in different legal, cultural, and social fields. It was adopted in the United Nations General Assembly Resolution number 217A and made and declared as a standard paper of achievement. Yes. Bidvest, which is currently a nationally known institution, was officially recognized by the government of Kenya in the Social Protection Act laws of Kenya as a social protection and social assistance institution, auxiliary to the members of the institution. Members of the society as well in the humanitarian field and in accordance with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and as the institution which carries its activities in the Kenyan territory. In relation to public and community authority and the relevant regulatory body, we as the institution continues to maintain an autonomy which allows us to act at all times in accordance with the fundamental freedoms and principles of social development. In Kenya, the social protection is a constitutional right, and of course, a role of the national government of Kenya as set out on number 14, part 1 of the 4th schedule of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. The Bill of Rights in the Constitution of Kenya 2010 guarantees all Kenyans their social, economic, and cultural rights and binds the state to provide appropriate social security to persons unable to support themselves and their dependents. Well, my major achievements in the institution is launching the Tulimshane Golden Walk in 2021, being a founder member of Tulimshane Mashinani, digitizing of the services, and also transforming the board into a management full of excellency. Mm, yes. That's briefly about how I can describe Bidvest and how we can, as an institution, what we have really achieved and the vision that we had when this institution was started, half a decade ago. And my thanks are just due to, the board of directors who continues to provide, the administrative support, without which we will not have done this much. We are much grateful forever to those who continue to be our development, partners, our donors, our supporters, those who even support us through prayers, those people who support us through, funding. We are much grateful to them, and we thank God for them. They are a great asset to our institution, and we are forever grateful to them for offering such, noble support. We cannot take that for granted as an institution, and as Bidvest, founded on the principles of social development, we shall remain grateful, shall remain supportive to the community, and we shall continue embracing that which the founder of the institution stipulated, in the founding charter. We thank the Almighty God. We also thank His, the government of the Republic of Kenya, and particularly, His Excellency the President William Samoei Ruto, the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya, for outlining, social protection in form of bottom-up economic recovery strategy in his 2022 presidential manifesto. Under his manifesto, he really articulated how the common mwananchi can really achieve the small, support, and how that mwananchi can support him or herself reach his goals, because it was established that it is very hard to reach to the stated goals without, supporting that local mwananchi. And the Kenya Kwanza government came out clearly during the launching of the manifesto and drafted the bottom-up, which we have really articulated in our institution, though under different approach of tusaidiane. Yes, our model is really aligned with Kenya's Vision 2030. Just to take you back, the Kenya's Vision 2030 is the new country's development blueprint program covering the period 2008 to 2030. Drafted by, during the reign of the former Minister for State for Planning, Honorable Wycliffe Ambeso Oparanya, in the year 2006, under the leadership of the late former president, Emilio Mwai Kibaki. We understand that, it aims at making Kenya a newly middle-income industrialized country by the year 2030. It also says that Kenya's journey towards prosperity also involves building of a just and a cohesive society that enjoys equitable social development in a clean and secure environment. This quest is the basis of transformation in 8 key social sectors of education and training, urbanization, environmental, housing, as well as equity and poverty eradication. Bidvest was founded on the premise that micro, small, and medium enterprise development initiatives are more likely to have the greatest impact on self-employment opportunities, enabling the members in question to become economically independent, and decision makers members of the society. Owing to the Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, which says the Constitution of Kenya is the, has outlined, yeah, Article 1 being all sovereign power. The sovereignty, all sovereign power is vested to the people of Kenya. And this article is almost, if not 100%, 99% across all the countries, across all the states. The sovereign power belongs to the people of that particular republic. That means the members of that particular republic have the authority to choose on whatever if they want to do mutual support, so be it, because they have the sovereign power and community, socially, economically self-determination. They have that sovereignty to do and to choose their own leaders and representatives. So at Bidvest, what we are trying to do in line with Kenya's Vision 2030, we discussed that it's very difficult for that person who has little knowledge, that person who is not informed about the Vision 2030. We have come up with a program whereby we will have a mutual support so that we can reach that Kenya's Vision 2030 on equality. We cannot achieve that equality unless we have that, the support coming from the person who does not have and the person who have. This is exactly what we are trying to do at our Tusaidiane ideology. Yes, so about my CV, well, from the 25th of March 2022 to date, I'm serving as the Group Chief Executive Officer at Bidvest. The Group Chief Executive Officer at Bidvest Group. The Group Chief Executive Officer at Bidvest is the highest ranking institution, decision maker. Broadly speaking, my primary responsibility, of course, is to make major corporate decisions, managing the overall operation of the institution, its resources, and also help to carry the vision of the institution. On 4th January 2021 to 25th March 2022, I served as the Group Head of Basic Operations and Strategy at Bidvest. The role of the Group Head of Basic Operations and Strategy is being responsible for defining the vision of the organization for its future and its organization's goals and objectives. The process includes establishing the sequence in which these goals should be realized so that the organization can reach its stated vision. On 3rd March 2020 to 4th January 2022, I served as the Group Head of Resource Mobilization and Agency. Primary roles of the resource mobilization is getting resources from the resource provider using different mechanisms, including crowdfunding, fundraising, and proposal writings to help implement an organization's predetermined goals. In the year 2016 and 2017, I was a volunteer at the National Assembly of Kenya. The National Assembly of the Republic of Kenya is one of the two houses of the Parliament of Kenya, and in the year between 1966 and 2013, it served as a unicameral, house in the Parliament of Kenya, and that is, and up to 2013, that is in 11th Parliament, it became the lower house when the Senate was re-established. Well, so much. It has a total of 346, that's the National Assembly, 290 elected from the constituencies, 47 women elected representatives from the counties, and 12 nominated representatives. The Speaker of the National Assembly usually serves as the ex-officio member. In 2017 as well, I was a social volunteer at Kenyatta National Hospital. Kenyatta National Hospital was established as a state corporation in 1987 through legal notice number 109 of April 6, 1987, as amended by the KNH Amendment Order 2021, with the mandate of receiving patients on referral from other hospitals or institutions within or outside Kenya for specialized health care, provide facilitate for medical education for Kenya, for University of Nairobi, and for research either directly or through other cooperating, health institutions, and also to provide facilities for education and, training in nursing and other health and allied institution, and to participate as a national referral hospital, national health planning. Yes, so that is all about my CV, and maybe I can also talk about the years 2017 also maybe a bit. I also served as a social volunteer at Pumwani Maternity Hospital. Pumwani Maternity Hospital is a referral, maternity hospital located on the east of Nairobi, Kenya. That is not far from Eastleigh, and actually it is a few meters from Starehe Boys, where I did my high school education. The hospital was founded in the year 1926 by a charitable organization called Lady Greek Welfare League and was named Lady Greek Maternity. The hospital falls under the jurisdiction of Nairobi City County. Nairobi City County is, county number 47, set out on the first schedule of the Constitution of Kenya, and it's equivalent to a provisional hospital in status. And of course, is reported to be the third busiest maternity hospital in the African continent. In 2018, briefly, I also served as a social volunteer while at Kenyatta International Convention Center. It's commonly known as KICC. The Kenyatta International Convention Center is a state corporation established under the Tourism Act 2011, whose objective and purpose is to promote the business of meetings, incentives, travel, conferences, and exhibitions, also known as the MICE. The Kenyatta International Convention Center, the KICC, is an iconic, a landmark for Kenya. It boasts of being the leading facility, in the meeting industry in East Africa, and has held quite a number of regional and international conferences, like the World Bank Conferences in 1973, Interparliamentary Union Summit in 2008, and other UN-based conferences, Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, ICANN Congress. Internet Corporation and Assigned Names is a non-profit organization that is responsible for regulating all the domain names for the website, and it is it is the global domain regulator in the world. It regulates attack domains, other domain administrators, and registrars. So KICC has also hosted the 2010 International Federation of Biomedical Laboratory Statistics (IBLS), the 10th WTO meeting, IT Card 6 second high-level meeting of GPETC, among others, to name a few. Generally, it offers event solutions including exhibitions, entertainments, arenas, conference facilities, and activities. So that's all a little about my social activities, my career journey, and I'm grateful to the Almighty God. All these can be referred to by the respective institution, and my education can also be validated, starting from primary to the university. I thank you so much for listening to me, and may you have a good career journey ahead.